Okay, so what are we doing here today?
Well, today is another, I guess, weekend edition of making American style breakfast in the Japanese kitchen. We already went ahead and cut up one of these sausages, one of the little traditional smoked sausage. Nothing special about it. But the reason why I cut it up was because just so I can grill it first before I actually put it into the omelet. There's all kind of stuff you can add to omelets. You can do bell peppers, you can do other types of meats, you can do other type of vegetables. So really this is just tailored, this omelet's gonna be tailored to the individuals consuming it, which is you. So nothing special as far as anything extra. However, if you want to make it, you can do it a certain way as far as adding extra stuff. Also, I have the French toast kind of mix going here already, so we'll get into that.
What did you put in it?
So far I just put a little bit of nutmeg in it, and I'm going to add ground cinnamon and some milk. The key thing about this process is we're making it in a Japanese kitchen. So one thing when I like to make breakfast, I think order of operations is very important, and what I mean by that is it should be done around the same time. So here we only have maybe 1 or 2 hours we're working with, so you have to play around a little bit with how it's going to be prepared. So I'm going to prepare everything first and then cook everything in the skillet. That way it comes out all together nice and warm, and nothing gets cold, especially French toast. You don't want French toast to get cold. Just keep in mind, it's a very simple recipe, but it's a recipe that you can still screw up. One of the most important things is, depending on how much cinnamon you want in there, you don't want to add too much or else your French toast will be too cinnamony. I'm going to add like 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. It's okay if I get a little bit in there. So, just a little bit. I like mine real cinnamony, so I add a little bit more than normal. The other thing is too, with your French toast, is the amount of milk you add. So a lot of people, if you ever make French toast and you wonder why your French toast is soggy, it's probably because you added too much milk. So you don't want to add too much milk. So because this is just for one person, I'm probably gonna add maybe about close to about half a cup of milk, no more than that. Normally I would get Texas toast bread, which is very thick, but out in Japan obviously we're not nowhere near Texas, so we got like a thicker style of white bread, so it's very similar. But you just want a thicker style bread, so where it absorbs the French toast mix really well, but if you cook it right, it won't get too soggy. So I'm just adding about half a cup. If I need to add more, I can. But it's about a little bit about a half. Some people add sugar, some people add all kind of other stuff to it. I'm just very basic with my French toast. I'm more about simple recipe, but getting it right. You don't need to put any oil in the pan because the sausage already has a little oil to it. There's a little fatty oil from the sausage, so I'll just throw it in the pan right away. Just gonna get it a little bit brown on each side, brown it. Don't have to cook for too long, maybe 5 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in the mix, or the French toast mix, into a wider bowl so we can get our French toast ready. So we're just gonna, after we made our mix for the French toast, we're just gonna pour it into like a wider kind of bowl plate, just so that way when we are ready to start making our French toast, we just put our French toast in here to dip it on each side before we put it into the skillet. Just makes it easier. Especially if you have like a bigger piece of toast, you want a little wider plate, but this is a good sized plate, and it has the side edges up so that way it can contain the mix. And if you lose some of the cinnamon on the way, you can always just add a little bit of cinnamon to back to the mix. Alright, put the butter in there. About to start the French toast. It's going to be an easy process while that butter sits there and melts. I'm going to, thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and put the first slice into the mix. Adding the butter instead of oil for French toast, this gives the French toast a little bit of extra buttery flavor. So obviously it keeps it from sticking. Gonna put the bread into the mix. Don't have to leave it in there long, just rub it around a little bit. Make sure it kind of gets the bottom where the cinnamon is. I'm just gonna turn it over really quick and get the other side. Make sure we get some cinnamon on it. Just gonna take it from the plate, put it right into the pan that's ready to start the process of making it. Doesn't have to stay on there long. Just a couple minutes each side. And you got your French toast. I don't add my ingredients to the omelet right away. I put the egg in there first. And of course I got popped, but it's all good. A little bit of water on my hands. Put a little bit too much oil, but that's all right. So I'm gonna let that sit. Then I gotta quickly add a little bit of cheese, not too much. Add it to one side of the omelet though. Then I'm gonna fold it over. It's like a half burrito if you wanna call it. All your ingredients, some spinach, tomatoes, mushrooms to one side so I can fold it over. And the tricky part is folding it over. It's gonna be the fun part because I have a smaller skillet that I usually work with. Alright, so I had to flip the omelet. It's a big omelet with a lot of ingredients in it, so be very careful when you flip it. But now we're just cooking the other side, so we'll give it another couple of minutes and it'll be all done. Alright, we got our breakfast together. One final piece is warm up your syrup. Put your syrup in for about 10 seconds. Get your butter on there. And then you just pour it on to your French toast. And it is done.
This looks beautiful. So this is the omelet. It's done and plated. It's beautiful. And the French toast with syrup and butter, of course. And we got some smoothie. What do you have in your smoothie?
Just kiwi, pineapple juice, flax cheese, chia seeds, and a little bit of GNC lean shake powder. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and there you have it, breakfast. Brought to you by Mr. Chef. Thank you for making breakfast, though.
Yeah.
That was really good. Thank you for breakfast. I'm gonna try this one.
Alright.
Omelet.
Alright.
This is an amazing breakfast.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.